Hello and welcome to Meta One Design Headquarters, and we're back for another episode of Beyond the NFT. My name is Sinful, and it is a great pleasure to be your host this evening. Yeah, welcome to everyone that is here at Meta One Design Headquarters right now. I noticed that I popped in about 15 minutes before, and there was already a party here. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the anticipation for tonight's episode, and hmm, and I really hope we can learn a lot from our DAO applicants here that we have tonight. So let's see. What is on the agenda for today? Well, first, I would like to take a moment to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Bucktown MMA. Bucktown is a mixed martial arts program whose mission is to empower youth and combat athletes all around the world. They have gyms out in New Jersey, Chile, Mexico, and I do believe Jay from Bucktown is working on a Vegas gym. So if you would like to support, head on over to bucktown.org/support. And there you could read a little bit about the program as well as even support through your purchase of any merchandise or Bucktown NFTs. All proceedings will go back to the program. And of course, Beyond the NFT is proud to have Bucktown as the official sponsor. They do great work, and I really appreciate what Jay does for the Web3 community. And on that note, um, I guess it would be smart to or good to kind of do a recap, basically. Tonight's episode of Beyond the NFT is a continuation of yesterday's Meet the DAO Applicants event that took place in the Decentraland DAO Discord. I personally thought that it was truly a special event, and I hope that that a lot of us can come together through these events and actually speaking with each other and having the opportunity to listen to each other. Um, so tonight will be day two. Toxic Waifu, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for organizing this, and thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this very special event. And just to kind of to set the premise on what the DAO Council will be in charge of. The individuals that are elected to the DAO Council will be tasked with overseeing the future executive arms within our DAO, as well as approving strategies and budgets. So with that said, I think we have a very solid group tonight joining us for Beyond the NFT. I would like to introduce our first speaker. She is our very own Decentraland financial guru. Let's give it up for Mariana.
Here, I'll come on camera. I'll join you. Simple.
You'll join me?
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, you,
Wait,
yeah, come on.
wait. I'm opening up right here. I'm right here. I'm right
Hey,
here.
that's perfect. Let's go.
How are you tonight, Mariana?
Doing good, doing good. Yeah, things are good, I guess.
Living the dream, the metaverse dream, the
Exactly. It's been busy. It's been busy.
Oh man, I mean, I can't imagine like what your schedule looks like. I mean, Stan with crypto, juggling a full-time job, and
Oh
on top of
gosh.
that, being just a genius, a financial genius. So like being a financial genius must take up most of your time, really.
I know, I have no time for anything else.
uh, so Mariana, kick us off with tonight's Meet the Applicant DAO Applicants event, Beyond the NFT edition, and yeah, just take it away. Give us a introduction. Who is Mariana?
Sure.
What makes Mariana tick?
Yeah, hi everyone. First of all, thank you, Toxic, for organizing this, Sinful as well. That it's definitely takes a lot of time and effort to do it, so I applaud you guys. But yes, if you guys don't know me, my name is Mariana. I've been in the Decentraland community since like December 2021. Started off as just kind of like a user, streamer, whatever, just your party goer. And then ultimately kind of stumbled upon the DAO just as like your typical voter. And then ultimately just kind of got more into the DAO, kind of was understanding what the current system looks like, what is this grants program, how is money being expended. And so I come from an accounting background. And when I first entered Decentraland, I didn't really want that to be known. Like I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to Decentraland to like escape work, right? So then once I kind of learning more about the DAO structure and the transparency, I'm like, hold on, there's nothing really going on here from like an accounting perspective. So I started to like educate myself more on like the current DAOs, grants program, and just trying to understand like how things are done here. So then ultimately got more involved in the DAO and then joined the revocations committee back in, it's been May 2023. So it's been a while. Been here since then. And then since, or Lord Like and Fez, they like hosted these like financial planning groups back, shoot, like last year, I guess. So I started joining those because I think at some point I started telling people that I do accounting, and then that kind of became like my specialty, I guess. And yeah, so now, yeah, just now I'm trying to kind of help the DAO with like financial reporting. I'm a part of like some cool like Web3 accounting groups that have been created over the last few years or last year or so. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, I do some Stand with Crypto stuff. So yeah, being with Stand with Crypto, I've been able to kind of get in touch with a lot of cool like crypto policy leaders and at like Coinbase. So I kind of know what's going on from like regulation standpoint. So that's been like a huge help from like just being more networked and connected. That's a little bit about me, I guess. I've been in accounting for about 7 or 8 years, from financial reporting to auditing. I actually just did budgeting this morning, trying to figure out why our hospital's revenue is off X amount from the budget. So that was interesting. So kind of deal with a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
But
So definitely the financial background is there, and you actively handle many tendies,
many, many millions. Yeah. And
many
I'm
tendies.
many millions. Yeah. Oh, and an actual, so there's like this new like AI project that one of my Cleveland people are working on. So I'm a part of their financial group too. So that's really cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
Go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry. No, I have nothing else to say.
You sure?
Yes.
I mean, definitely that's a definitely a strong resume to have for this DAO Council position. If elected, do you feel like you will mainly be operating within the financial side of things, or do you feel like you could also you can apply your
Yeah.
skills towards other aspects?
Sure. Yeah. So I think I can definitely, I'll definitely be strong suited in the finance role. But then also, like, I mean, I've been a part of this community since, oh, yeah, like for about 3 years now. So I definitely think I can be like a liaison for the community as well for, requests and what people are thinking. So I think that that's going to be good as well, just being like a community representative too. I don't, I mean, I know some programming, not a lot. So I can't really do much from like a technical perspective, right? I can kind of help with like the strategy. I mean, like I said, I know, I think I would be pretty good with like the expanding like the growth of the central line just from like connections with like different projects outside of
Mm-hmm.
our ecosystem, because like right now like the central line is like so siloed, like we don't have any like cool integrations into our um platform. Like with AI agents, we're like missing like this huge AI agent trend right now. Like there's definitely like a lot of people ready to, there's a lot of companies that we could definitely work with and partner with. It's just having, and I think Carl mentioned it yesterday in his speech, like there's no one that's like leading the charge for the DAO to make those, connections. But then also like we have to make sure like as like a DAO council, like we have to understand what the foundation's efforts are in this, and are we going to be duplicating their efforts, or like where's that split of how we grow Decentraland. So that's going to be interesting too, how we're going to like pretty much like we need to be aligned with the foundation too as the council, or else it's going to end up being like the same problem where like foundation may be doing they'll be building one thing and then we're doing something else, and then we're realizing we're like splitting up two ways, I guess. So I think just be a part of like community building strategy, and finance, of course.
All the finances.
Yeah.
So
Keeping everything just like accountable. I mean, yeah, like we said, even like Carl said yesterday, like there was just so much like random spending going on, and there's no like organization of like buckets. Well, eventually then we had like those, the budgeting buckets, I guess, but like that still wasn't like enough, and like there was no like assessment of how everything was going. But sorry, what's the next question?
No, I really like what you said, like accountability, and like that is one thing that has been lacking within our DAO for quite a while now. So I mean, definitely good that you are looking at making people accountable, bringing accountability to our DAO. The next question is a hard one. It's a very hard one.
Oh, great.
And I saved it just for you, and I may have asked it like 8 times yesterday. What is your vision for Decentraland? And I guess like even to break it down even more, like your vision for our DAO and what could be done through this council.
Yeah, so I kind of spoke about it just briefly before, but pretty much having like this synergy and alignment between foundation as they improve the platform, the synergy between like how we're improving the platform from like a DAO perspective and making sure that gets integrated into like the GitHub, making sure builders are being heard, making sure creators, get the right support, whether it's, with the Creator Hub or SDK. But I think I just want to see a coherent product eventually. That's my vision. And being able to easily and openly be able to like integrate external new programs into Decentraland, because like I said, like I don't understand how maybe limited we are from like an external programming side, like pretty much to be able to like, let's say someone wanted to like have like an AI agent thing or whatever, like how easy would that be for the foundation to push without breaking foundation? So like I just want to see like a working product being done in like the most efficient way, because I'm just kind of sick and tired of seeing like the duplicate efforts on both sides, and also just having some financial minimization, because I just feel like I feel like it's just been wasting a lot of money on both sides. So ultimately just seeing the DAO being more organized, like from like a financial perspective to like a strategy, business decision perspective, but like making sure we also hear, the community, the builders, the developers, and obviously prioritizing the platform first, because we can't make content without a broken platform or with a broken platform. So making sure we allocate money for that as well.
100%. Wow, Mariana, I knew voting for you was was a great idea.
Thank you.
So, any final thoughts? Any final things you would like to say to everyone before we move on to our next speaker?
I mean, I think that's like one of those like interview questions where you have to say something.
Say something insightful, something motivational. What's your favorite quote?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot. I think just we just need to become, I think we all just have to like research and figure out what we want to see for the DAO and the foundation, and make sure, like, you know, once this council gets created, like we have to make sure there's like a way to, you know, have the council hear what the community wants. So it's going to be like, oh, you know, there's this election is like one thing, but then actually like everything coming to place is going to be like another. So I definitely, you know, hope to see like great communication within the council to the community, make sure that the community is being heard, and that, yeah, there's transparency with what is going on within the council, and then whatever gets created with the opco. So it's gonna be interesting, I guess, but exciting times.
I'm very excited as well. I'm very excited as well. You know, change isn't easy. I'm just from a personal level myself. Like I'm just sitting back and seeing what these changes can do. Like it's like definitely there hasn't been a better idea proposed. So
Yeah, yes, we'll see how it goes.
exactly.
But yeah, I think it'll be great though. I think we're moving in the right direction, and yeah, just hopefully we just save some money, I guess, with duplicate efforts. That's all that I care for, and yeah, I just want to make sure, yeah, foundation is, yeah, we're just not double spending
Yep.
the
Yep.
contracts.
Yep.
So.
And to all my financial applicants, if you'd like to impress Sinful, please push towards allocating funds for server costs after Foundation is gone, because yeah, I don't think we've been thinking about the future costs of Decentraland and like what it might take for our DAO to keep the lights on.
But yeah, that's all I got for you for now. If anyone has any questions or want to talk, I'm always here. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like kind of like digging through like our financials just to prepare, and yeah, I think we're just ready for. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention like, yeah, like there's definitely like some like accounting subledgers available, so I definitely would like make sure we have some sort of like financial report system going on like in the upcoming years or year. But all right, I'll shut up now.
Alrighty. Thank you, Mariana, for your time,
Yeah,
and
thank you, Simple. Yep,
thank,
I'll be here.
thank you for being here. And up next, we have a Web3 researcher that goes by the name of Metaryuk. How are you, Metaryuk?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. A lot better in this chat than the other chat.
Fantastic.
How you doing today? Or actually, if I'm not mistaken, you've just woken up maybe a couple hours ago.
I woke up about 5 a.m. in the morning every day.
Oh, you're an early bird then.
You have to, man, when you have kids.
I see. Yep, kids will do that to you. That's for sure. So, Metaryuk, I guess to get it started, I'll pass the mic over to you and give you the opportunity to give yourself that grand introduction.
All right, thanks. So first off, everyone knows Ryuk is not my real name, and this is because due to the operational security and the nature of my work reason. And that's the reason why I'm not ready to share my name publicly, at least for now. So I'm based in Singapore, and it's about, I think, 11 or 12 hours ahead of New York City. And it's really like Tuesday morning for me, around 9:35 a.m. here. So yeah. So anyway, maybe I'll give a brief introduction about my experience in terms of my professional stand. So my professional career spanned over 20 years now. I'm in my 40s, and primarily in the cybersecurity and intelligence industry. So I started off as a security engineer, doing government projects. Then, as weirdly, I became a hacker for hire for a British company for about 2 years, and then I moved on to the intelligence sector. I think beginning if I'm not mistaken, 2014 or 2015, I started to do intelligence. So my first exposure to blockchain and crypto was, I think, as early as 2016. Was part of my task when I was working for some of these companies. was to monitor the dark web marketplaces and understand how these marketplaces operate using cryptocurrencies. And then I was hired as a CTO for a Finnish-owned intelligence company who wanted to establish their presence in Singapore. And during my time, I helped to build up the team. I lead the team, and most of these employees or members were across Asia Pacific. And I was in charge of developing processes from ground zero, starting from scratch, developing methodologies, and then doing research and development. So during my time as CTO, 2 years later, I moved on to the banking sector. So part of my task in one of the oldest American banks I was working for was to research the developments and monitor what's happening within the blockchain and Web3 space. And with the information that I get, that I research on, I develop assessment findings and share it and collaborate with the digital assets team within the banking team. Then I think after working for almost like 9 years in the banking sector, I move on into the crypto world. And currently I'm working as an intelligence analyst and a researcher in one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world. I'm sure many of you would know this company, but due to reasons I can't really disclose it. But some of you who knows me or met me in real life, I think they know exactly which crypto exchange I'm currently working at. So my first exposure to Decentraland was in early 2021, and thanks to COVID, because we can't really travel for like 2 years in Singapore. So, and I started to hear a lot of buzz in the NFT space, where news and stories about people paying millions of dollars for like digital items like JPEGs and lens. So it kind of like piqued my curiosity back then, and I started to dive like deeper into exploring the metaverse platforms out there, like Sandbox, Sovereign Space, and Decentraland. And to be frank, I'm not a gamer. I don't play games. I still play Command and Conquer. That's 2013. I'm still playing that now. I don't play anything else. So when I look into these platforms, typically I don't look into the gaming side of things. I look into the business side of things, the business use cases. And based on my research, I find that Decentraland to be like the most flexible, with the potential to be business oriented. So I started to attend like a number of presentations whenever people present about either the metaverse or Decentraland. And I even attended the unveiling of the first metaverse ATM by Transact, which deployed in Decentraland. Not quite sure if anyone heard of them. So I was very like passionate about the financial aspects in Decentraland. And that was before I know about the DAO, right? So this was purely like Decentraland. And being in the financial industry, I tend to look into the flexibility of the tools in the platform offered. And basically based on my research, I can in a way conclude that Decentraland has, at least for now, has the most potential for inward transaction, creating e-commerce, and even perhaps the possibility of having banks operating in the metaverse, and not just like having static scenes in there like what you are seeing right now, but more like the ability for people to really conduct inward transactions to let's say put money in the bank, but doing it inward from the blockchain. So I think it's for what it's worth, Decentraland has the most financial organizations, or I would say banks, deployed when compared to other platforms.
Yeah.
And in other words, I would say Decentraland is more than just a place for gaming experience. I personally think that Decentraland could really be a place where this vision of a working metaverse where people not just play but also work can be realized. So that's my introduction. Thanks.
Thank you. And to tell you the truth, I feel like Decentraland in a way has fostered that, but like more in like a very, very early version of this, like, metaverse being able to provide jobs, at least speaking for our builders or our coders and stuff like that, that have had opportunities through their through their skills. But like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, eventually get it to, or like where like you could work on the metaverse as a bank clerk, for example, or something like that. uh,
That would be cool, right? If you can actually do that. I know a number of like a number of jobs. I think at least in 2021, 2022, when metaverse was like people are talking about the metaverse, people started to have like jobs in the metaverse, like Roblox, IKEA or IKEA. They have like people always presented in the scene so that whenever people attend these scenes, they are able to, interact directly with the avatar. So pretty cool, right, to see that happening.
yep, yep. I can see it in a way like the only way that companies will be incentivized to do something like that, like have someone on board on the metaverse, like online on the metaverse, in your build, would be like once the traffic is here. If we can get, if we could return to like our 2021, 22 glory days, or even more, better, more than those days, like I feel like that these concepts are not too far, like won't they'll come not too far after the people.
Totally agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, Mataryuk, if elected to the council, I mean, you have a list of expertise as well. Like for example, I guess like when it comes to your expertise, I would like to come back to an intelligence analyst. Could you tell us a little bit about what an intelligence analyst does?
So, uh, depending on the kind of intelligence that you are doing. So I've done cyber intelligence, I've done physical security intelligence, and I've done like the normal kind of intelligence. So I can share a little bit of. So when I was working in the bank, the kind of intelligence I was doing is basically to monitor the developments of the blockchain. So what? So you know that banks. So back then, I think 2 years ago, when I was still working in one of the banks, the US banks, they were looking into quite a number of things. CBDCs. They were looking into tokenization. They were looking into exploring the development of their own chains, right? Permissible chains, basically, like JP Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So, so in order for them to get the information that they need, for them to be aware, or at least to be situationally aware of what are the kind of things happening, they need to know the developments and the threats that happen in this space. So for my job as an intelligence analyst, that first I need to monitor and research, um, getting to know a lot of things, be inside the Discord, Telegram channel to see what's the latest happenings, and then based on this information I receive, I will do some analysis and assessment, and then share my findings, and then disseminate this information to the relevant stakeholders. So when they have this information, they would know, okay, we have this information. I think this is the best way to progress on it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Okay.
just the basic thing about one of the roles and tasks as an intelligence analyst
Mm-hmm.
or a bank at least.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah. So in other words, it's like I feel like our DAO does need an intelligence analyst. If elected, what expertise of yours do you feel you will apply the most to your position?
So I'm quite versatile in a number of things, and it really depends on how what are the key of focus we want to focus on Decentraland. So for me, like for me, my expertise in I would say if there is an expertise, it would be my research. That's my expertise in doing research.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this research, it's easy for me to be able to advise accordingly, like what are the things that's happening out there, um, and how, and the do's and don'ts, the failures and the success of the implementation in other DAOs or in other platforms. What are the things that other platforms are doing? What are the things that other DAOs are doing that made it right, that are able to attract people to come in? that are able to attract investors and players and users, developers, and then we can get this, share this to the DAO Council and the relevant OpCore people, or including the executive director, to say, look, this is what's happening, right? And this is how they are getting people. Why aren't we doing this? And should we explore this? Right. So this is something that I feel the DAO is lacking at least. And to me, of the overall, what I would like to see from Decentraland is an alignment of vision and mission. And I think we already established that it's just a matter of executing and implementing them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see like the current issue we have is like, the foundation is not ready, believes that the DAO is not ready for us to have a seamless takeover of the foundation. And the DAO, at least some members of the DAO, thinks that that the foundation is not aligned to the ethos of the first initial white paper, right? From the concept of decentralization, transparency. So this, I feel, is the reason why a DAO council needs to be established in order to have a proper communication, to be that center person and communicate directly with both the foundation and the DAO, and then so that we can align, even though that there would definitely be conflicts, right? There will always be friction. Our community is separated by factions of communities, one accusing one another. I think that's pretty much happened to, in any community. But as long as everyone is aligned to a mission and vision, I think we can establish the proper protocols, the proper processes, KPIs, metrics, and to ensure that, like what Mariana said, that people are spending the right amount of money to the right amount of places. There's no duplicate of efforts. People are accountable. And once we have established that, and I think, maturity-wise, if we are able to have a certain level of maturity, and then that's when I feel like we are able to really take over the DAO, or to take over the foundation in time to come. Because right now, we are taking advantage of the current situation where we have a lot of millions of dollars, but you see a lot of platforms out there, like other metaverse platforms, they don't have that. And a lot of them closed down because of the inability to manage funds, right? So the question about sustainability is, to me, is a priority. How do we sustain ourselves that Decentraland should still be around in 10 to 20 years time, or for as long as they can? What is the most priority that we should be focused in order for Decentraland to continue operate in 10 to 20 years time, right? So these are the questions that we need to tackle, and these are the questions that needs to be answered and documented, so that the community and the investors as a whole is confident that we have everything in need for them to focus or invest in the platform.
Yes, sir. I like it. I like it. I like where your mind's going. I guess final question would be like, what is the vision? Oops, sorry about that. What is the vision for you? Like, what would you like to see come out of all this?
So I have two visions. So one is a personal one, and one is for Decentraland overall. So the first one, like for me, as a business person, or at least business-oriented person, I envision DCL to be a place where people do not just come and play or connect, but also a place to work, study, and even conduct businesses. We need to, I envision, so basically I envision Decentraland to be like a platform where we are able to gather interest and attract people like all these TikTokers or YouTubers, but having them doing the same thing but in Decentraland, right? We have the tools, we have the utilities, but we don't have the proper exploitation of this. Meaning to say that what we need is monetization aspect, right? If we want to have a proper economy that allow us to sustain in years to come, we need to make sure that an economy exists, right? And economy must exist with monetization options, right? Not just by speculating lands and assets or mana, not that, but really to have people to monetize their efforts, their creativity in Decentraland. So I think this is something that I think Decentraland can do, but unfortunately, we are not really going that part properly. So I think this is something that we need to explore. The second one is for me, the second mission is to the alignment of the foundation and DAO, like what I just mentioned to you, right? We have quite a number of conflicts and friction between the foundation and the DAO. We have community friction and friction and conflicts within the community itself. So if we, for Decentraland to be successful despite this friction and conflicts, as long as we agree to an alignment to the foundation and the DAO, I think Decentraland can be successful. So yeah, to vision one, monetization and business oriented platform. Second, alignment of a vision, and from there we can proceed to work it out and be successful. Hopefully that we can last for more than 10 to 20 years in time. Into the future.
As we established with Carl yesterday, we have 5 at least. But no, and to tell you the truth, I hope through the manifestation of your second vision that the first one may come. So thank you, Meta Ryuk. Before we move on to the next speaker, which will be Kanessa, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave everyone with?
Just one. As you all know that we are still in the, I wouldn't say infancy stage, but we are still relatively young. There were no DAOs back then, and there is now. So for a metaverse to succeed, a DAO is not really needed. But for Web3 to be successful, a DAO needs to be successful as well. So we are currently in a stage where we are still in the exploration and the experimental stage. We do not know whether having a DAO council would be successful, would work. But who knows, right? If it does, that's great. If it does not, we have to move on to something better. So again, I think everyone needs to take note that all these are still in the experimentation and the exploration stage, and hopefully we are able to execute them well and go forward from there.
Yeah,
thanks.
We're still fucking around and finding out, right? Well, thank you, Meta Ryuk, for your time. Thank you for being here, and I mean, welcome to Beyond the NFT, my friend. One of these nights, we're gonna have to have your very own episode. You're a very insightful person, very knowledgeable. So definitely, you definitely have a future episode lined up. One of these days, I'll slide into your DMs. And I'm looking over at the Twitch chat. Just want to say hello to One Tuna Boy. Sup, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. Let's see. You're saying that 2.0 is not working for you. If there's anyone in Twitch chat that could help One Tuna Boy, it would be really appreciated. And then besides that, I mean, I'd have to get with you after the show or something. If you're around, let me know. With that said, we're on to our next speaker. I'm gonna hit her with all the hard-hitting questions as well, just like I did with Mariana. No mercy. This individual is co-founder of Community Building Decentraland, and she is an aspiring builder. She builds castles in the sky, and she wears a shark NFT for her Discord picture. Let's give it up for Kanessa.
Thank you. It's been great listening to everybody's ideas and everything, and yeah, I'm so glad. Tough act to follow. I think the two smartest financial brains here, and I get to follow them. So thank you so much for that.
Oh my lord, I'm sitting here like, man, if I would have applied to this, I I can't hang with it. but I mean, you yourself, Vanessa, are also an interesting individual that could definitely bring a lot of value to the Decentraland DAO Council. So with that said, I'll pass it over to you, and you can kick us off with your introduction, and yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, who you are.
Well, I'm still figuring that out. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I'm working towards something. So, hello, I'm Canessa. I first found Decentraland in 2018. It was the first altcoin that I bought after Bitcoin because it was the first one that I could kind of understand. I was working as a high school special education teacher and I used VR in my classroom a lot. I was working with students with high emotional behavioral needs, actively suicidal, and suicide prevention was my specialty. So these are students that would not go to their classes. They would not do their work. And so to get them I stepped into their world instead of continually asking them to step into my world. And I got a pair of VR goggles. And so I had my students, instead of writing a psychology paper about the brain, one student modeled the spinal column and the brain with all of its parts in VR, and then took his teacher for that class, actually took them into the spinal column on an elevator with colliders, moved up into the cerebellum, and each part of the brain, the teacher actually got to walk through it. So for the first time, these kids actually had a chance to show what they knew, but because of trauma, abuse, and neglect, they were unable to. And it was shortly after that I went to a technology conference, really just dove deep into VR, and that was in February of 2019. And then the next month, I found this crazy build contest where they were asking for creators to make stuff for Decentraland. And so I was like, I remember buying that coin. Let's see what I can do. And I was one of the 50 runner-up. Didn't win the grand prize, but got a parcel of land, a little bit of mana. And that really hooked me and made me just continue to want to build more here. Kind of took a few years of break to focus on, just the job. It's a pretty intense job. And then came back, pretty hard and heavy in 2021 with the bull run. And then let's see, from there, just figured out what the scene was about. I would go to clubs, I'd go to parties, I'd buy all the fancy wearables. I was fully participating as a user in Decentraland. I think it was that spring that a lot of started to get more active in the DAO, and there were a lot of big proposals coming out that were at the time dividing our community. We didn't know how divisive it could get, but that's when you and I, Sin, were let's start a Twitter space so we can maybe do something to change it for the better. And that's when community building Decentraland, when we had a Twitter space. We never thought we were going to do more than that, but it turned into a Discord, and I think people were able to find answers there that maybe they weren't able to find at the main DCL Discord, or they were asking for building help. And it was always nice to have a place where people could just connect and get that help that they needed, especially because as a new builder, there are hurdles, roadblocks after roadblocks to get in. Let's see, fast forward. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm the worst at broadcasting what I do. Let's see. I was eventually applied for the Decentraland ambassador coordinator position, and last year got to start the ambassador program in Decentraland, and that was really fun and interesting to make, just to kind of look at what ambassadors could do around the world. We had teams in many different countries, and so working with people, different levels of communication, working with different currencies, converting that, working with a multi-sig wallet. It was a lot of new things thrown our way, but I think the program went really well. It was definitely a pilot, and so we've learned a lot from that. I've since been hired again by Foundation to continue that program, and so we're rebuilding it, kind of looking at what went well, what we want to change. And then last year I went to GDC, the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, and got to talk for 5 days straight, 9 hours a day about Decentraland, and it was like a dream come true. My voice was like totally tapped, but it was really eye-opening to talk to the community and explain what Decentraland was over and over and over again. And it really made me appreciate some of the selling points that we have, because I also got to talk to different, gaming platforms at GDC or different metaverses at GDC. So it really started like peeling back the layers and seeing what do we do differently here. I'm also a builder. I love making emotes. I think I've published over 50 emotes. I've published wearables. I did not create the wearables. Had other people do that for me. And I love building. I'm always trying to push the limits of what I can do on my build. I know it's not, it's I'm not a studio. It's nothing crazy, but every time I publish something new or find a new way to do something, like it's a personal best for me. And so I'm proud of what I do. Other people might look at it and be like, oh, it's okay. But I'm like, I'm self-taught, so I'm gonna own it. I'm really proud of that. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I believe I'm the most active voter in the DAO, and it's really important to me that I don't cherry pick which proposals I vote for, so that so that it's always transparent, that I'm voting in the best interest of Decentraland, not just, I don't want to ruffle feathers on this one, so I'm not going to vote. I try to always make sure that I have an opinion, an informed opinion, and tried my best to represent what is best for the entire ecosystem.
Amazing resume. Oh man, you talking about the CBD Discord, kind of how it got to be. It's like, it's kind of crazy how life comes at you in a way. Like, we start our first Twitter space, and then 3 years later, we're sitting here in this Discord, talking about speaking to DAO Council applicants and having shows, and just trying to bring people together still to this day.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's like 140 weeks.
Yep.
Couple hours.
140 weeks. We probably average like 3 hours throughout those 3 years, like 3 hours a space or something. That is accommodating for those spaces that were like 6 hours, and then those that were 1 hour. But I feel like the 3 hour mark is our sweet spot.
Yeah.
So, if elected to the DAO Council, like, how do you feel you can apply your skills to the council?
Well, I think as a person that uses the platform on a daily basis, I think that I understand acutely what the pain points are of building in Decentraland. I am not highly qualified in most other ways. Like, I'm just a regular person who found it, wanted to build. And I think that if we're going to onboard the masses, then that needs to be our target audience, is not skilled coders, not skilled modelers, not financial gurus, because generally that's not, there's not as many of those coming in as just people who want to use the platform play to earn games or social interactions. So I think we need to make sure that we're aligning our sites to the right target, and that is the daily active users that we have. So we need to make sure that the actions that we're doing in the DAO and whatever kind of projects that we're going to do moving forward, are in line with that user group. I am a gamer. I am a gamer both by choice and reluctantly. I love Fortnite. I love other games, but then I'm also a mom, and so I have played way more Roblox and other games than I than I necessarily want to, but it really has helped me be aware of what is, the competition. Like, we live in an attention economy, and so what do we have to do to compete with these Web 2 platforms? Not just the Web 3 platforms, but I think it's really important to understand that users coming in are we have a lot more competition. And so just having a basic understanding of that, so that when these decisions are being made, they're being made with the best interests of the actual users of Decentraland. Because, I mean, so following Mariana and Meta is actually great. Like, just looking at, like, that's the numbers aspect, but we can't lose sight of the human aspect, because if we're going to be we're a virtual social platform, then we have to keep that social part in there. We have to keep the humanity part in there. So I don't know, that's I think that is what I would do. I would also advocate for just the community, the people here that, you know, we don't have a big voice. There's a lot of us, but we're not whales. And so hopefully there's a voice, you know, at the end of the day, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to build for a platform if we don't have people that understand the challenges that users face on a daily basis.
Very true, very true. I mean, that is 100% true, that we need to focus on the new user, the person coming in, and just discovering Decentraland on their own, whether they are just participants or builders. You know, they need to feel like as if they have a voice as well. So Canessa, what is the vision for you? What is your perfect Decentraland, and like your vision for what this council could be?
Ooh, you know, that's such a good one. I mean, the vision is I get really idealistic, but I think just having it really easy to build good scenes without having to reinvent the wheel. I think we really have to focus on making this a place where anybody can build, because right now there's just too much competition. When we first opened the doors, next month, 5-year anniversary of Decentraland, we had way less competition back then. And now everywhere we look, there's competition. So I think making it easier for people to build, and then giving them the funds that they need to build, because, you know, right now to host a party, I'm actually losing money every time I host a party, you know, like if you're going to pay a DJ, if you're going to do this and that. So we need to get money in the hands of the people that are going to use it. And then beyond that, like, we need to really get innovative. We need to think, we need to make some amazing experiences that are, I don't want to say rival like AAA gaming studios, but we need a story, we need a narrative, we need a character in our world that the world can fall in love with, you know, like Zelda, Mario, Link, all these characters. Like, where's ours? Where's our innovation? Why don't we have a character like that? Like let's do it. I think that just comes down to imagination and creativity. So I think that'll bring in the dreamers. We need more dreamers.
You don't like Aisha?
I love Aisha, but what's her story?
You're right. She doesn't have a story.
Why not? Let's make a story. Let's give her a narrative.
Yeah. I like it. I like the idea though. Like, I could just imagine her, like, you know, riding down Decentraland on her skateboard, just like grinding on stuff she's not supposed to, and like, you silly kid.
One underdog story, you know, and that's what people fall in love with. Not numbers, not play to earn. I mean, money is money, but we need heart. So.
Yep, definitely, and then, like, I mean, a lot of our community members, I feel are like bring that to the table. So in a way, it's like you and I have seen what heart looks like. I mean, through Toxic Waifu, we've seen what dedication is like. We've seen like what it is to want to build on this platform. I mean, Mariana as well, Old Guy, so many individuals here currently at Meta One Design just are very passionate about what Decentraland is, and you know, just hope we could all come together and show the world why we are so excited about this world.
Yeah, totally.
So, final question for you, hardest one of the night. Any final thoughts that you would like to leave everyone with?
You know, I think while my past experience as a special education teacher might not look like the qualifications we need for the council, one aspect of that I think most people don't realize is that most teachers don't want kids that are different in their classroom. Most parents don't want their kids to be in a place maybe that's not pleasant for them. And one thing I learned as a special education teacher, one part of my job was to be a absolute fighter, because I have to go up to those teachers and say, yes, this student will be in your classroom. Yes, the student will be going to their job site. It is their legal right. I am a champion for those who don't have a voice, because my students, many of them were nonverbal. And so I think as far as when it comes to the council, I hope there is somebody, whether it's me or somebody else, who will keep some of the other council members accountable. I think accountability. I have no problem doing that. I already did in Portugal. But I think that there needs to be accountability so that people are making the right decision. And especially if people don't come into the platform regularly, how will you know the problems that need to be solved? So,
Mic drop. Thank you, Ganessa, for being here. Really appreciate your time, and I'm happy that you're back on Beyond the NFT. What is this, like number 3, episode number 3, maybe 4?
Hey, doesn't Beyond the NFT have some kind of anniversary you're supposed to celebrate and plan for up ahead?
God, yes, it does. Oh God, I'm gonna have to read back into our DMs, because I think you had an excellent idea for this.
Yeah.
Read our DMs. All right. Well, thank you, Ganessa. Good luck to you in the voting. Let's see. Moving down the line. Up next, we have Agus coming in. Welcome, Agus. How are you this evening? And thank you for being here.
Hi, Sinful. It's great to be here. It's great to be with everyone here. So thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here today. So far from listening to the prior speakers, what are your thoughts on tonight's show? Do you like Beyond the NFT? Is it lame? What are the thoughts?
I love it. It's been a while since I've been in one of these in real life events, to be completely honest. So I'm so happy to see so many people here gathering together in world. It's a dream to me, to be honest. So super happy to be here.
Yeah. I know that you and I met back in 2022 in Miami during Art Basel and NFT Miami. And during those times, I remember when we had our first meeting, or all of us got together. I had my phone on the whole time, because we were all in the Twitter space with the CVD Discord, with the CVD space running and everything. And I can tell you that a lot of the individuals that are listening in tonight were individuals listening in even back then. There are a few names that I see that were there back then. So not much has changed.
Yeah, totally. We have a solid foundation, we have a solid community, and that's one of the key things that I love about Decentraland. So many people trying to make this a nice place, and hopefully we can do it. I mean, that's why we are all here, right?
Yep. We hopefully we can continue to push forward and come together as individuals to push the world we love. And with that said, we can get your portion of this event going. I'm going to pass the mic over to you, and feel free to introduce yourself to everyone. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we can go from there.
Yeah, great. I'm Agustin, born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm considering myself a builder. Since I was a kid, I played with computers, and I'm self-taught in coding and building products. Back in the day when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time immersed in digital communities. First of all, I played Habbo Hotel. I don't know if any of you played Habbo back in the day, but I used to be a mod there. Later on, I played RuneScape and so many other games. I also got to be a mod in RuneScape. It was a really nice time for me to really get a grasp on these digital communities, and to get an idea and a vision of what Decentraland could be, right? Because I really spent so much time there, engaging and meeting people from all over the world. So yeah, fun experience. And after that, I went to the uni. I started co-founding companies, startups, doing product, and well, I was early in Decentraland. I'm friends with both Esteban and Ariel, which are a part of the Decentraland founding team. I was friends with them back then, and I got involved in the ICO, and I got involved in building the platform from early on. Before that, I also was involved in some Bitcoin projects. Really early, building infrastructure and building technology, and a little bit of product. And in 2019, I got invited to lead the project. So I got invited to basically found the Decentraland Foundation and become the first executive director.
Congratulations.
So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and we had a lot of fun. So from the inception to mid 2023, I got to be the executive director at the Decentraland Foundation. And back in the day, it was a really small team. We were just between 15 or 20. I can't remember, but yeah, it was a really small team with a lot of great ideas. Basically, creating the first iteration of the first client. Yeah, everything evolved from there. We know what happened with COVID and the lockdown, and how that eventually changed Decentraland for good in so many ways. We started creating a solid foundation for Decentraland. We iterated a lot. We pivoted a lot with idea. We tried many different stuff. Today I'm I'm in the security advisory board. I'm a security advisor member. I also advise the Decentraland Foundation from time to time. I try to help here and there with some DAO proposals or collaborating with some contributors, but I'm not being part of the foundation, or I don't have any executive role in the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I learned something just now. Like, I did not know that you were Decentraland's first chief executive officer. That is actually a pretty cool fact. Like, I knew you at some point were CEO, but not the first CEO. That is very interesting, and kind of like
sorry to stop you there.
Yep.
I wasn't the first one. The first one was Ariel.
Okay.
But after Ariel dropped, I got to be the first CEO. Yeah, of the foundation, right?
Of the foundation. Okay, because yeah, we have to separate it there with Decentraland as a whole and the foundation as the entity. You're correct, and thank you. And so, kind of from the time that you've taken away from the position, what are some of the things that you think the current foundation is doing good for the platform? I'm very curious.
Well, first of all, I took a nice time to reflect, and to also be able to see what's going on with other metaverses. I think that we are doing a really good job on a technical level. I think that having this new client is taking us to the right path. Obviously, it requires a lot of iteration, and we are getting there. But I really feel confident that the work that the foundation is doing is what we envisioned many years ago. I see a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts that we thought about, and we had them described on PRDs and different product documents, but now I see them implemented, right? And that's amazing. And being able to see a client that, at least for me, it works fine, and I know that this client also has the foundational layer that is much better than the previous client. I think that's amazing. So yeah, I'm super happy to see the work that the foundation has been doing since I left. Yeah.
So you can see this platform or this current client being built on top of for many years to come.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are not there yet.
We're not even. We're early.
Yeah. Yeah, we are early, but I think that we are in the right path. I mean, I think maybe I can take the conversation to another place.
Of course.
With some ideas that I have in mind. So for me, if we think about Decentraland and if we think about Decentraland as a product, I really love the motivation theory. So the motivation theory has a really amazing equation that is super simple. So basically, to reach adoption of a product, a service, or a behavior, it really depends on how much drive, motivation, basically, the user has. But obviously, you have minus friction because obstacles outweighs motivation, right? And then that's elevated or raised by how rewarding the experience feels, and that's satisfaction, right? So you have motivation minus friction, elevated or raised by satisfaction. That equals to adoption, right? So I think that right now we have some core problems, I would say, on why we are not being able to reach mass adoption, right? So the first core problem is that Decentraland fails to address emotional and social jobs for mainstream users. And let me just double click on what I mean by mainstream users, right? So the problem is that most of the people that are here, and this is not to disqualify anyone, please don't feel offended by what I'm going to say, right? But we are crypto users, right? And we know how to handle crypto. We know how to pay our transactions with gas fee. We know how to handle mana. We know how to handle ETH. And if we really want to reach, mass adoption, we really need to identify the motivations from a social and also from a emotional perspective that the Gen Z seeks to have, right? The problem with Decentraland is that the Decentraland crypto-centric narrative doesn't really resonate with that group of people, right? And users, what they want is they want fun, effortless core loops and experiences. Right now, Decentraland lacks engaging games, events, or cultural relevance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to say is like the first problem is we need to understand the user audience that we are really trying to get to use Decentraland. For me, that user audience is the Gen Z and beyond. That basically means the people that are the most native to the metaverse, the people that will be most native to using headsets, the people that will be most native to be part of an immersive reality, like we all envision, right?
Yep.
Then the second core problem that I see is that friction outweighs perceived value.
Yep.
And we all know this, right? Like, if we want to convince, I don't know, our cousins or our friends to use a wallet, a gas fee, and crypto onboarding, everything that has to do with crypto onboarding confuses mainstream users, right?
Yep. Friction.
Yeah, mana token paywalls, right?
Yep.
Exclude non-crypto users, right? There is a really high cost to create, to participate, versus free alternatives, right? Like Rec Room or Zepeto or Roblox or I don't know, name it, right? So, and even the cognitive friction, right? That has to do with users understanding Web3 jargon, like NFTs, DAOs, etc. So what I mean there is like, and this is probably part of my thoughts, right? That we need to maybe shift a little bit the philosophy and think as a technology as an enabler and not the hero here. So maybe the idea is like a blockchain needs to become more of an invisible infrastructure, like HTTPS is for the web, you know? Because if not, it's going to be super difficult for us to onboard, you know, like, the users that we want to see here creating, socializing, and, you know, being part of a flywheel, right? So that's the second problem that I see. And the third problem that has to do with that, even if when user adopt, you know, satisfaction is really low. So even when users, come into Decentraland, the satisfaction is low. And obviously, when I talk about satisfaction on the content side, we have few creators. That means empty world. That means no clear core loop, and that means no reason to return. Obviously, there is a social deadlock there, because if there is a small user base, there is no network effect, and there is a lonely experience, unless we are all gathered together in an event like this one, right? But you need to have visibility on that. You need to have a way to organize this type of events. If not, you are basically lonely, you know? And there is a monetization mismatch, because speculators, they profit. But mainstream users see no value, and creators see low to no value. So I do believe that moving forward, we need to find ways to reward content creators in a way that is sustainable and is fair to the community. And I think we need to find a way to create a sustainable program that can last for years, and that we can onboard this new generation of Decentraland citizens in the best possible ways by giving them the right motivation, reducing the friction, and raising the satisfaction. That's my analysis of the situation. And sorry if I'm monopolizing the time here.
Oh,
Sinful, please.
no worries.
Stop me.
Oh, you're good.
Stop me
You're
whenever
good.
you want.
You're good. You're good. And I mean, you're saying a lot of interesting things that, I mean, you've definitely taken the time to reflect and break it down, like just like with what you were saying with, like, you started off with the motivation theory and then the equation behind the motivation theory. That was very interesting, and it makes sense, to tell you the truth, because a lot of the things you were saying do equal out to what is happening. So yeah, no, I am definitely enjoying our conversation here so far. I guess we can kind of segue into the next question, which was, if elected, which one of your skills do you think you will be applying the most to your council position, or what skills will you be using? Yeah, the most basically. I just repeated it.
Yeah, totally. So I think that the the most valuable asset that I have right now has to do with my high level vision on the project. Like I have seen it all. Like I've seen the early beginning of the Decentraland, then the foundation, and now the current situation. Like I think I have a nice overview on the problems, the challenges. I've seen what worked, what failed, and I think that I can also be a really nice channel between the foundation, the executive arm, the DAO executive arm, and also the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I can be a great asset to have conversations and to be able to find alignment and to be able to find the right vision, mission, and the right objectives.
Mm-hmm.
So that both the DAO executive branch, the foundation, and the community can play together and play the same game. Like we are all part of the same team. The thing that we need is collaboration and clear roles. I see the DAO executive branch as the one that proposes, along with the community, the one that funds content, the one that steers the vision, that perfects the early engagement and the onboarding funnel, the one that helps onboarding people. I see the foundation as the one that enables, so delivers tech breakthroughs and scalability. So make sure that our SDK and our platform works at scale. And I see the community as the one that amplifies, right? So the ones that leverages tools to craft experience and get rewarded for their creativity in a sustainable way.
Mm-hmm.
So the quest here is how can we get to the escape velocity, where we have a consistent, high quality content that takes us to user growth and takes us to self-sustaining creator economy, right? That's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep, that is definitely a challenge, and we must address it. Um, I had you were mentioning at one point kind of how we need to kind of bring focus more towards the builders of the platform and begin to incentivize them. I I don't know if you've read the most recent manifesto to be released, but I was wondering on your thoughts on the foundation's kind of efforts to kind of ramp up a community program, program for community builders, community wearable creators, and scene creators. Would you say that is a direction in the right step, and perhaps maybe would need to be kind of amplified by the DAO?
Yeah, totally. I think that's in the right step. I think that again, the problem here has to do with who are we targeting towards this type of efforts. I see I see like a crossroad dilemma here. We can go in two different directions. The first direction is the ASIS, right? The niche community that we have built, which is great. It's a niche, product,
Yep.
and I love it as it is. Or we can aim for, like a mainstream adoption. For me, that means Gen Z, and the point that I want to say has to do with we need to tailor strategy that works for the Gen Z. We need to, I mean, our competitors are not the sandbox or on cyber or spatial or whatever. Our competitors are Instagram, TikTok. Those are our competitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to understand how people, I mean, TikTok, Instagram, they are basically enabling creators to create content in an easy and fun way on a different layer, right? We need to basically take that and bring it to the spatial layer. And the question there is, how can we onboard people to create content in an easy way, right?
Yep.
So for me, one of the key things that is missing is how can we create a funnel that is easy enough for someone that doesn't have, the skills to create content inside Decentraland. For me, I've been really curious about AI in the last 2 years. I've been researching a lot, and I'm also a technical guy, so
Mm-hmm.
I also coded. I've been coding on that, and I think that there's a lot to do on that end, right?
Yeah.
From AI sentience, AI, characters all around Decentraland with a lore, and basically creating a quest and creating storylines and creating things that create emerging content. So whenever someone comes into Decentraland, they don't find the empty world. They find quests and side stories, and also from tools that allows people, for example, let's take all the empty parcels. I know this is a hot topic, right? But it would be amazing to have an AI basically creating, content in the empty parcels. Like if no one is going to create content there, why don't we have a set of tools that can create content there, even if it's only, for buildings, right? But so answering to your question, I love that that the Decentraland Foundation is going towards that idea. I still think that that's an early version of the plan, and obviously they will iterate on that, and probably we will come up with tools and ideas and initiatives that really bring value to the project and to the platform, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Second and last question, which I kind of almost feel like you have already answered it with the previous questions, which is like your vision for all this. What would you like to see accomplished?
Well, I foresee, first of all, this is a hot take, and probably this is part of my reflection on Decentraland. I think that if we are going to create a new social medium and a new, a competitor to, something like TikTok and Instagram, that needs to be a VR first, tool, a VR first metaverse. Obviously, the mobile and the desktop applications, they are great. They are great gateways to onboarding, and especially mobile for onboarding the Gen Z and beyond, generations.
Mm-hmm.
At least for now, but we need to start understanding what VR can do in terms of social interactions, in terms of emerging content, in terms of the things that get us together as humans that the desktop client can do. Like we are right now all standing in this parcel in a desktop client, and that's great. That is connecting us in some way. But I would love to be on my headsets and having this conversation, and you hearing me while I'm standing and moving around and moving my arms, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's missing, right? And I think that there's so much to be done there that we are not yet exploring. And I think that that was a good idea in the early beginnings, because VR was, still an idea. But right now, if we're having this conversation in 2025, I think that we need to start building our VR client as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, VR is looking more attainable for the masses.
Yeah. So my vision is a VR first metaverse user-owned, open social metaverse targeted for Gen Z and beyond, where people can create, socialize, monetize in a really fun and easy way, probably powered by AI tools and engaged SDK tools, which we need to really improve in the following months. I think that's one of the key things that we need, that the Decentraland Foundation needs to focus, is improving the SDK. And the other piece of, I would say, big initiative there has to do with clear core loops and having a live ops teams that basically takes care of everything that has to do with progression paths. And obviously the progression is going to be social. I'm not talking about, you know, skills and levels and whatever, but we need to have quests. We need to have side stories. We need to have, you know, like AI characters that creates, you know, like sidelines and side stories that makes it fun, you know, to enter Decentraland and to encounter something new every single time that you go inside the platform, right? Which is not happening right now. So I see a Decentraland that is full of live and emerging content and directed content also by the DAO or the foundation. Hopefully the DAO is the one that drives that.
Yep, we will see. We will see. Hopefully the future is bright. And I guess just to wrap up, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave everyone with?
I think I said a lot. No, I'm super happy to be able to participate in this council election. Hopefully, I can bring value if I get elected. Hopefully, my years of being part of the foundation and my years of being part of the foundation can help me to bring a vision, a high level vision, and some ideas, and hopefully I can also be I don't know how to frame it, but I would love to be more part of the community, right? So to have more conversations with everyone in the community and to understand their points of view, and I think that's something that I would love to do too.
And I think the community, you know, all the individuals that hang out in Decentraland would really appreciate an individual such as yourself, like, you know, actively wanting to know more about what they think, what they feel about the platform, and you know that is, I feel like that is one of the steps towards improvement. So just know that you're always you're always welcome, and like even like just like this Discord here, we're always hanging out in here. We're talking about Decentraland, so you know this is somewhere you can look towards to see what some people are saying. Of course, you already know that the Decentraland Discord as well as the DAO Discord as well are also very good places to go to. So, but yeah, you just know you're always welcome here as well.
Yeah, likewise. And obviously my DMs are open, so if anyone wants to send me a message, I would love to meet or to have a chat to exchange some ideas. So yeah.
Most definitely.
So thank you for the time, Sinful. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Toxic. Thank you, Toxic, for organizing everything.
Yeah, big shout out to Toxic Waifu. She's a legend for this. Like, definitely, like, you know, from the beginning made my my life easy, put everything together, and I just had to show up basically. Big love you, Toxic, and really appreciate you. And let's see, we have one final presentation, which will be Mr. Dehingia. He submitted a video for us. Here, just give me one moment to pull it up. Let's see. I'll pull it up here in the Discord as well, so everyone could follow along. Okay, I think, yeah, it's working. All right, so this is a DAO Council presentation from Mr. Dihinia, one of the DAO applicant or DAO Council applicants.
Hello, I'm Mr. Dingia, the founder of Dingia Builds. We've created over 100 builds in Decentraland, along with custom wearables for myself and commission designs for various individuals in the community. I have hosted numerous large-scale events, including special builds for a 64-parcel music festival and fashion week. We've also collaborated with fellow creators to host events, such as the Global Decentraland community event at our HQ, as well as various cultural events. In addition, I maintain an open source collection of around 40 builds and assets designed for the community to use and enjoy. This collection has also been added to the awesome repository of Decentraland. I also operate Dingia Builds HQ, a 64-parcel city where I've deployed a game and various other builds, serving as a hub for regular events. The space features multiple builds that we frequently update and customize for parties and cultural events. M1D is an event I host in Decentraland every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC at Dingia Builds HQ. It's a super fun and unique gathering where people come together to connect, enjoy the metaverse, and kick off the week in a completely unconventional way. The event's lively vibe makes it stand out, creating a space for social interaction, creativity, and community building. We've been hosting M1D consistently for the past 2 years, without missing a single event. Over this time, we've organized many themed M1Ds, such as cultural events inspired by India and Arabic night-style M1Ds from Dubai. We've collaborated with numerous creators and have also hosted this event on various builds on their land parcels. Since 2022, I've been doing ambassador work even before the program officially existed. I've traveled to Dubai for GAITEX in 2022 and 2024, as well as other Web3 meetups in Dubai. For these events, we independently produced and distributed Decentraland t-shirts, badges, and laptop stickers, pictures of which can be found in my X highlights. I also hosted an ambassador program event in Sharjah, UAE, where we organized a metaverse workshop to educate people about Decentraland and its creator ecosystem. Additionally, I hosted a meetup with over 300 attendees, which included a flash mob dance with professional dancers, a drawing activity for kids, and karaoke. I'm running for the Decentraland Council because I bring a unique combination of creativity, experience, and tangible results. Over the years, I've not only built innovative spaces and wearables, but also organized vibrant and impactful events like M1D, metaverse workshops, and meetups in Dubai and India, which have strengthened the community bonds and promoted Decentraland. My work has always been about adding meaningful value, whether through visually stunning builds, culturally rich experiences, or collaborations that bring people together. I'm deeply committed to pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve here, transforming Decentraland into more than just a platform. It's a vibrant, inclusive community where every contribution makes a difference. I'd be honored to have your support. Together we can build something extraordinary. Thank you.
Oh my God, Rockin'. Thank you. I was talking to myself this entire time. I muted. I was just a recap of my long monologue just now. I was just thanking Mr. D for providing the video, and yeah. I mean, shout out on Mondays for hosting every Monday. A music show and staying consistent. That is definitely needed here in Decentraland. We may be few, but we just have to keep grinding. And on that note, that finishes off our Monday night event, our Monday night Beyond the NFT event. Really appreciate every single one of you that popped in today and just participated. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope you learned a lot about our applicants that came through tonight. Special thank you to Kanessa, Metaryuk, Agus, and Mariana, of course, to for being here. I know you're busy, and yeah, really appreciate your time. So on that note, everyone, stand by. I'm going to switch devices, and I'll play some music for us for the rest of the evening. Take care, everyone, and see you back here next week for another episode of Beyond the NFT. Bye.